you know, otherwise being known as FilthySensei. My name is actually Mascerlin.
Welcome to Flow State.
It's great to be here, honestly. This is really cool. It's just not something I do often. It's really relieving to be able to speak with another creator. I am a very particular creator nowadays. I haven't done much YouTube as I should be, because honestly, I have ideas that flow in and out.
You're just trying to sit down again to just understand your perspective, your experience of things. You being on the, the creator side of things, me looking outside in is like watching your YouTube videos or listening to, your EP Time and Seconds.
Fire, by the way.
And, just watching y'all just do typical vlogs, stuff like that. Seeing the content that you put out there, it's kind of good to get your perspective. What brought you here? What made you, the masculine you are today? Or, who is Scopso type thing. So, yeah, tapping into what your flow state is. Physical, mental, emotional check-in. Let me know what's up.
Mentally, I feel like I've evolved to a point, to a peak, maybe. Well, I'm not gonna say peak because I have no idea what is to come and what life has to offer later on down the line. So my mental state is definitely great. I'm healthier than I've been. I'm a strong believer in God. Like there's a way I just can't shake the thought that there's just so much more to this than just what we do as human beings, on the regular. There was a car accident that I had that left me in the hospital I was in ICU for a minute. So I'm a strong believer in God. I had to kind of bounce back, and I'm at a point where
you did.
Yeah, I bounced back,
did.
So those things definitely all plus,
Yeah. Prayers up for that. That just makes it much more of a one-of-a-kind thing for you to be here talking to me right now, because things could have been different. So for a second, take it back to March 20th, 2019. Drop Time and Seconds, the video. In the back of my head, I was just like, dang, I hope he doing all right, because he ain't dropped nothing in a minute and stuff like that. Like, I really hope he end up dropping whatever he dropping next. Like, I'm like ready to see what it is. And, you let us kind of know just, I feel like it was just a little bit of like a letter in terms of like, to the people that have just been in tune to what you were doing and what you got going on. And because you've been away, you took some time away for a little second, process whatever was going on and just understand your situation. You being on the creative side of that, what was the concept going into it? What was the mindset, going to the military and all that stuff, like even just dealing with all that and then making the EP?
It was a recap of my development. And not just me, it was also for my team, but yeah, recapping on emotions, situations, because a lot of things that I speak on in my music is not fake. So I felt like at that point in time, which side note, going into the military was a decision that was based off of a dad mentality. It was almost as if I was running from my situations. Where I am now is definitely much, much greater than I was at that point. Time and Seconds, I want to say that the music over time, it fluctuated, it had some type different emotion in it.
Yeah, I felt that.
It was most of it, it was like most of my time that I put into the music all in seconds, which is why it was called Time in Seconds. And it was really pushed by Dan to get it out there.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, we definitely should do this. You know, this would be real cool to leave the listeners, the followers with as you go on to your journey, you know, as you go through this journey. We bounce off each other's ideas all the time. I can't wait to start telling you about the creative process, man. Those times were so fun. So fun.
That beat on that song, like the only reason I fell in love with that is because I heard it on the EP. Like, I kind of like slow, smooth instrumental stuff, but the way he was like just flowing on it, it just made it like 10 times more therapeutic for me. That and Wildberry Soul, that's my shit. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, for sure.
Wildberry Soul is my shit, for real. It was a good feeling to be a part of, and I always was wondering, it might not have been good for you to put that out because, like, maybe you felt like it was rushed, or maybe you felt like, I don't know, you were venting in a sense, but it came off so cool and, like, laid back that we, like, me as a listener, I ain't even really peeped that, you know? So, like, it was good to get your perspective of it now that I got it. So speaking of, like, I guess taking a hiatus, so, you know, kind of stepping away, trying to recover, how do you kind of manage, because you said that you mentally evolve, so for someone such as yourself, like, how do you feel as though you kind of stay intact with your flow state in terms of, like, still being creatively inclined whenever you're, like, making some type of work? It just, everything feels copacetic, like it never goes away. Like whenever you take maybe 2, 3 years, 4 years, however long it takes, every time you come back to it, like it always feels like it's at home. Like,
yeah.
You know, how do you you know, maintain that type of mindset?
So through it all, through everything, no matter what, I could always turn to creation. Sometimes when you're in the process of creating, it's as if like you're fully in control of what is going on, you know? This is what you are bringing to life. And that's a motivational thing to me. Just being able to know that my hands, my mind thought of this. I always feel that God is the reason for it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that gives me the ability to do it. A lot of my best work definitely just comes to me sometimes. I've had dreams where, okay, for example, there was a dream I had where I met Kanye West on a radio show. He was singing a brand new song, like beautiful voice too. I was like, hey, I can't sing like this. It's crazy. So he was singing his song, and when I woke up, I realized that's not actually out there,
mm-hmm.
you know? So I incorporated that into a song. Some things just come to me, you know? It's crazy. The piano, I kind of feel like I have a natural ear for a piano.
Mm-hmm.
If you see on my Instagram me playing the piano, that song came out of that, like it was on the spot. For some reason, I started recording, and there was this beautiful melody that was just going on. I don't know. I kept it going, and I was very impressed by that. A lot of things just happen sometimes,
mm-hmm.
which I feel is just how it goes for an individual who sets his mind to creation. Ideas start to flow, you know, ideas start to come. There's a process you go through, mm-hmm. and then you have your finished product.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's how I feel about how I go through that, you know?
Yeah. It's just like, you know, maintaining your faith, still being patient and consistent with what you're doing.
Definitely.
So when you put your mind to it, you halfway there in a sense. Sidebar, because I know you're an avid Adventure Time guy.
Oh yeah.
So, and I am too. I have caught myself binge watching it. I went through the whole series probably about twice. That gave me enough time to kind of figure out what my favorite episode was. And if you know of it, it's the Hall of Egress episode. Finn and Jake, they went to like this cave, And then like Finn got stuck in the cave by himself and was trying to find his way out and all that. And he was trying to like figure out how to get out. He used his brute strength. It didn't work. You know, he was trying to take different angles, try to go out of the cave in like different ways. Instead of going up, going down, that type of thing. Didn't work.
Yeah.
Then, you know, he kind of found himself just like, okay, I'm going to stop thinking like so much and just like go with my instinct, go with my gut. Essentially, like by the end of the episode, he finds his way out of the cave, but not without going through this like meandering maze and finding himself having to always go back to square one, even with Jake trying to help him. Like Jake and BMO was trying to like give him so much advice or tell him like, this is what you got to do. No, this is what you got to do. And none of it worked. He kind of had to figure it out by himself. And that stuck with me because, I mean, in this particular time of my life, I feel like I'm there right now, basking upon my independence because I'm at school. Like, just trying to figure out things for myself. Like, you know, just this is the point in time where I'm kind of fortifying my passions, my desires, my aspirations for what I want to do long term. That's kind of how I see my maze. I'm just going through it, and eventually I'm going to find my way out because, as you do, I have my faith in a higher power as well. Is there a particular, you know, hall and egress moment that sticks with you that, you know, you always kind of keep close to you to, you know, tell yourself to keep going type thing?
It would definitely have to be the military.
Mm-hmm.
Was my hall and egress. Like, there was so much, okay, it was so different. I'm learning so many customs and the history of everything and then the operations of the military and all this stuff. But at the same time, I was still trying to heal and I couldn't find a way to do so the entire time I was there. So it was almost as if I went for nothing. However, after reevaluating everything that happened, I understand now that it all happened for reasons that I can't comprehend, but I know how it benefited. It gave me a mentality that's less likely to go for, I'm just saying, the bullshit from anyone else because I respect myself more. I don't hinder myself anymore because that's what I've done most of my life. You know, I felt like it just made me so much tougher in a lot of aspects, like mentally, physically, definitely. The mental part of it, I feel like the toughness is in places that are like, okay, I can take a lot of pressure nowadays. There's that things can go wrong and wrong and wrong and wrong, but I know that I'll come out because I have. So that egress moment was the whole military. The military was that tunnel for me. I was looking every which way with no help because I was in Japan. You know, things were happening. I learned about mental illness and stuff like that. Fun fact, I actually am diagnosed with schizophrenia, which was very new to me. It got me in situations that I didn't understand what was going on, stuff like that. Just being able to, now that I know more about the mental illness, I'm able to flow with it and make decisions more rationally. There are other diagnoses that I have, but I deal with those in a way that, like, what I deal with those, they're much easier to do. But yeah, that egress was most definitely the military. I was searching, healing, you know, searching for stability mentally and you know financially. It was just a lot, and I felt like I was given so much that I should have felt happy when I did. So coming out of that, once I got home, I learned that I had way more ways, and most of it was within me. I just had to make decisions that would go against certain ideas. I wouldn't say my character, because it never changed my character making the decision. If you need an example, I am much more ready to, if I know someone that I would definitely forever help, because we look out, everybody looks out for each other. That's how the world works, or should work.
Yeah.
But when helping one another, if your help isn't gonna help someone, then don't do it. It's something I changed within myself, and since then, it has taught me, like, there's times to help, and there's times that you need to just let it be, because within certain people, it's just not gonna change. They have to grow through their situation, just like I had to grow, and I'm still growing through my situation, type stuff like that. But yeah, definitely, the military was definitely my hindrance.
I commend you for even doing that anyway. Anything in the future, you excited about? I know you said, the future's bright, but you don't know what it is yet. So, and I respect that. You yourself are looking forward to, or like, people that, follow the channel or follow the content should be excited about?
Just look forward to the comeback. Because once I get in the routine of it, it's not gonna be completely different. I have definitely looked forward to the nostalgic feeling. It's gonna be definitely nostalgic. It's gonna be good vibes throughout the whole thing. And the creativity. The creativity is something that I feel has evolved. There are minor things that I do that I know would just be hilarious. Just simple stuff. But once I have a deep idea, I take my time with it, which it's definitely gonna pay off. And also, I am very accustomed to music editing software now. Highly accustomed to creating beats. I can do it in like 15 minutes now. I could be pushing music. So.
Any quote you've heard in particular that you feel like been on your mind lately that you want to put out? Just like maybe you heard it from an artist or one in particular that like you came up with yourself. Just anything, like, honestly.
I guess my question is, do you think it's too late for me?
What?
I mean, am I just doomed to be the person that I am? The person in that book? It's not too late for me, is it? It's not too late. Diane, I need you to tell me that it's not too late.
Bojack,
I need you to tell me that I'm a good person. I know that I can be selfish and narcissistic and self-destructive, but underneath all that, deep down, I'm a good person, and I need you to tell me that I'm good. Diane? Tell me, please, Diane, tell me that I'm good.
There is regret that comes with certain bridges that you burn. So, never fall out with your people.